Good morning. Make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. All right, I believe we are live here. Give me another moment. Click live at all the places. All right, and let me pull this up on my phone. It's a lot of stuff to do to get us up and running. There we go. All right. Good morning. Good morning. And I got some some stuff going on this morning. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning. So how are you this beautiful morning? Oh, I was going to do this. In the car on the way to Asheville. Oh, nice. We're getting to ride right along. Good morning, Stacy. It's great to see you here. All right, so I was trying so hard to get everything up and running. I haven't gotten my affirmation and journal prompt copied over into the right place. So let me do that. Chilly and wonderful. And you, it is amazing morning. I'm feeling so good. And I will say, I started to, for those that don't remember, my daughter and I are sharing a vehicle right now. So she's got to go to work. And at one point I thought, well, I'll take her to work and then I'll just do the live later. That way I have the car to go do things. But then I looked and I had this list of all these things that I wanted to get done today. And I thought, if I'm doing these things and I still take the time to do my workout and I take time to do my meditation and I want to read some of my book, it's like, why do I need the car? So I just told her, I said, you go ahead and take the car and I'll be fine, because I've got you guys. And then I've got some other things that I want to make sure that I do today. And I guess in some ways, I feel like if I have the car, it would be so much easier for me to say, I need to go do this first and not accomplish the things that I said I wanted to accomplish. So I'm being diligent with making sure I'm do the task that I said I would do today. Because, the thing about, we have to keep our word to ourselves, right? And we teach ourselves in our mind whether it can even listen to what we say we want to do. And so it's a long explanation, but I am going to be here in the house working on all the things I said I wanted to do today. All right, so I am going to go ahead and share today's affirmation. Hold on a second. And I see we've got a few watchers here. Make sure that you say hello and let us know that you're here. And because I can't tell when it pops up that you're watching, whether you're still here or you just popped in for a moment, but I would love to have you as part of the conversation. It's going to be fun. And I don't have to rush off to do anything else. So that's good, because yesterday it was like I had to say what I had to say really quick because I had to get to a client. So good morning, Ellen. Good morning. Great to have you here. All right. So our affirmation for today is, I step into my power, effortlessly sharing my unique gifts and talents with confidence, knowing the world is ready to receive them. See, that's good, right? Because we step into our power. But not only that, is we internally know that the world, the people around us are ready to receive them, because that's one of our fears sometimes. Well, I can speak for myself. I can't speak for you. But one of the fears typically people have, and I have had many times, is that people won't receive what you're gifts and talents are, that people aren't receiving your message. They listen to your voice and they say, no, I don't think so. And so that's a fear, and that holds people back so many times. I know it has me in the past many, many times, held me back from speaking up, from doing something that I might not be proficient at. I didn't want people to see that I didn't know how to do something. And in actuality, nobody knows the very first time that they do it. You got to learn, right? So, as we share our unique gifts and talents, which they are unique, they're just like fingerprints. Even if, and I was reminded of this just the other day when I was talking to someone about if somebody, and I wish I could remember who it was I was talking to. But anyway, if even if we had, if there was 5 of us on here, and 5 of us had the same idea of what our gifts and talents were, and we shared them out, it would still be 5 different, very different representations of the idea, because we're all unique, we're all different. When we put our authentic self into something, it's definitely different from somebody else, right? And sometimes people just aren't ready for you. Yeah, yeah. And it's the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. And I have found that to be so true so many times in my life, because I would have someone and that would show up and say, I can help you with this and this and this. And then it didn't feel good. It was like, I don't, and it wasn't anything against them, but I certainly wasn't in a place that I could have followed directions and that I could have done the things that they asked me to do, because I wasn't all in, or I didn't feel confident enough with myself to think that I was worthy of it, or that I could even do it, right? And so then when I grew and became a little bit more in tune with who I was, and then somebody, even sometimes that same person, popped up and said, let me help you with this. And then I would say, yes, I'm ready. Let's do it. Right. So it is, when someone says something, you need the confidence to just keep going anyway. Yes. When someone comes and tells you something, or that they could help you with something, and you don't feel like it's the right fit, it doesn't mean that it's not the right fit. It's just not the right time. And it has so many different things that pop up, right? And the thing that I'm most interested in is helping us to get out of our comfort zone and recognize what our gifts and talents are. Because there are a lot of people, and I'm not saying that's any of you, because you're part of the community. So you're definitely more in tune with who you are than some other people, right? But a lot of people, they feel like there's nothing unique about them, that they're just who they are. They don't really have any gifts or talents. And like, if you were to ask them, for those that don't know, I just got back last week from going to see Stacy's TED Talk. Yes, I want to work on my confidence. Yes, beautiful, Ellen. The thing is that she gave us a dare that we would talk to people on the way and at the airport, while we were there, on the way home. And we would ask people, if you were to do a TED Talk, what would it be? And there were several people that I asked that question. They knew what a TED Talk was, but they said they didn't have anything of value that they could provide, that they would have no subject whatsoever if they were asked to do a TED Talk. And I said, well, what if somebody said, what do you know a lot about? And they'd say, I don't know. So it was almost like they were so into the box of who they were, whether it was whatever their job was, or their place in life, in the family, but they didn't feel like they had anything to provide. And that kind of made me sad, because everybody has a gift or talent that they can share into the world. And so those people, for whatever reason, are not tapping in to who they uniquely are and how that could actually be something that somebody needs to know. And, one of the things that I share quite often is my lawnmower story, right? So I'm just going to share it for those that haven't heard it. Well, and I promise it'll make a point. But I had a new lawnmower that I'd only used a couple of times. And when I moved into the house that I'm in, even though I'd only used it a couple of times, I'd had it for a couple of years because I was paying somebody else to do my yard and all that stuff. So I got here and I decided I wanted to cut the grass, and I go to crank my lawnmower and it's not working. And so I Googled stuff to see, what's going on, what do I need to do? And so I came up with this thing where I needed to change the spark plug, right? So I go and I look at it, and it's not like one of the old lawnmowers where there's a spark plug there, you just pull it out, right? I couldn't even find the spark plug. So I go on YouTube and I look for videos, and I find several videos of people showing how to do this. And they were all men, so maybe this is part of the problem. Sorry if any men are listening. However, the video would show, you had to open up this little door thing on there, and there was the spark plug. Oh, I found the spark plug. And so then the guy would say, so you take the spark plug out, and then he would hold it in his hand, and he would talk about the next thing to do. Well, so I go, and you can't just take the spark plug out like you used to. But it never showed how to get the spark plug out. And so I went to video after video after video, and every single one of them showed, here's the spark plug in the lawnmower. And then they showed it in their hand. They didn't show them getting it out. And so I ended up going to a neighbor. I did not know who this neighbor was because I had just moved in, and I told him that I needed help with my lawnmower. And so he comes over and he looks, he said, oh, there's a special tool that you need to get this out of the lawnmower. He said, it should have come with this tool. And I thought, well, hell, that was a couple of years ago. I don't know where this tool is. I don't even know what it looks like. So he told me, he said, to go ahead, and he looked on it and he said, here's a number. So he said, go to Home Depot or Lowe's and tell them that you need to get this out of your lawnmower, and this is the model of lawnmower you have. And so I went and I bought this tool for like $5, right? I go home, and all you had to do is put this tool on it, pull it right out. But the thing was, is that not one of those videos showed me how to do the pulling it out, right? They just assumed we know. And so that's what I'm getting at. There are so many things in our lives that we just know. And it's because of trial and error, because we've learned something from someone else, or something happened and we had to figure it out. But there's a lot of things that we know. And it's like having that tool. We assume everybody knows the same thing, but that is not true. There are probably a plethora of things in your life that you could help somebody else to do because they don't know what you know, but you don't even recognize it as a gift and a talent. So just think about that for a minute. What is going on, or what has gone on in your life that you've had to figure things out, and you just automatically assume everybody knows that? Just like my lawnmower, remember? Every one of those videos that I watched on YouTube, those men all thought that we knew exactly how to get that spark plug out of the lawnmower, but we didn't. So I almost went and made the video for that, but it was like, I didn't want to. It was like, that's time that I don't want to spend on this, but just think about it. There's a missing piece in there that all these people were missing. And like, if you go and you look at books, if you were to go on Amazon and look at books, and there's books about everything, right? How to do different things. But there's usually, just like my lawnmower story, there's usually books that talk about this part, this part, this part, this part, but they leave out a piece in between. They just assume everybody knows. But there may be a place in there that you have the amazing gift and knowledge and talent to know exactly how to help somebody to bridge that gap between book A and book C, right? Maybe there's not a book B there, and there should be, and it's yours. So, where in life do you have this gift or talent that you could share? It's unique to you, right? So, I want you to just look a little bit about what goes on in your life and what you can share that everybody might be really excited to find out about. Maybe you already know what that thing is, what your gifts and talents are. Some people it's art, some people it's business, some people it's music, some people it's speaking. What is your gift or talent? And how can you have more confidence and just step into that power and effortlessly share those gifts, knowing that the world is ready to receive them? Because really, when you look at it, just like my lawnmower story, right? I was desperately looking for how can I get that out? And if that neighbor hadn't been there for me to ask, I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to do it at all. I wouldn't have known what to do, right? And so you've got something. You do. You've got something within you that is so amazing and that people would really want to know. Can you feel that? Am I making sense? Are you thinking, what the hell is this lawnmower stuff about? Let me see. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the journal prompt for you. Let's see if it all shows up there. Yes. All right. So our journal prompt, and I love to have you do visuals and have you look at things differently, right? So I want you to picture yourself, and this is especially for you, Ellen, because you want to work on confidence, right? Picture the most confident version of yourself. So sometimes we have to go back in time to a place where we felt really confident. And if you can't find a time that you felt really confident, then make it up. What would it look like? Maybe there's somebody that you know or you've seen that has ultra confidence, and you kind of want to be confident like they appear to be. Doesn't mean they are, but they appear to be, right? And so just use that version of a person that you would like to emulate their confidence, and just see, what is it about that person that makes them look confident to you? Is it the way they speak? Is it the way they use their hands? Is it the way they stand? What is it about it? And then just imagine, drop into a version of yourself that does that. Just pretend, imagine, right? And just make this picture of the most confident version of you sharing your gifts with ease and joy, right? What does that really look like? What does that feel like? And so what I want you to do is to really journal about that today. What does that version of you look like? Get in touch with it. Get in touch with it in every way possible. If you need to, like I with my clients, a lot of times I have them envision themselves somewhere surrounded by people, and they exude this confidence and this ease. And as they envision this in their mind, they can see it, right? And so, what does that version of yourself look like? Strong, yes, strong. And how can you tell that it's strong? That's what I want you to get to, is if somebody else was looking at you, how do you think that they notice that you're strong? What is it about you that lets them know that you're strong in confidence, that you have this talent and this gifts that you're confident about sharing, and it's going to be so easy and so joyful? What is it that they physically see different about you? Or maybe you exude that now, but what is it that lets them know that? And like when you're looking at someone who you might admire that has the confidence that you'd like to have that you don't have right now, what is it about that person that lets you know, not necessarily the words that they speak, but what is it about them that gives you the impression that they're confident, that they have this ease and flow about them? How can you tell? Like I talk about people watching a lot of times. I love to people watch. So when you go somewhere to the mall, you go to a sports event, or whatever you go, you can see there are people that if you watch them, you have this idea of who they are. That person's very confident. That person, they're not feeling too good today. That person feels insignificant. That person, and you can feel, or intuitively by their body language what's going on for them, right? And so, how does the body language, along with what the person speaks, but body language speaks so much louder than our words, because people can talk about confidence, they can talk about all those things, but if their body is showing you, the shoulders are slumped, they kind of stand humped over, they walk a little shuffling. There's so many things that people show that strengthen the way you walk and talk. Yes, yes. So there are ways that we can emulate that confidence and imagine. So I want you, as you're pitching this most confident version of yourself, I want you to figure out what is it that would help you to feel that all the time. So when we change what we do with our bodies, it actually changes our physiology. So one of the things that I have a lot of my clients that suffer from not having enough confidence or something like that is I have them to do this kind of visual, but I also have a trigger for them. And so I'm going to gift this to you. So when you're going about doing things, we just automatically drop into whatever our natural state is, whether that's confident or not confident. Our body language is showing it. And so what I want you to do is just today, or you can keep doing it forever for all, if it works for you and you feel good about it, is for today, the trigger is every time you walk through any door, or like you're in the car, Wendy. So every time you exit the car or get in the car, or you go into someone's house, or anywhere you go through a doorway, whether that's the car or a building, that's when you recognize, ooh, and then you stand a certain way, you walk a certain way, and you exude that confidence, right? And the more you do that, more actual confidence is going to be raised just for the fact that your body is beginning to demonstrate confidence. And as you demonstrate confidence, it becomes internal confidence. And so you can change your physiology by just emulating these different postures. Does that make sense? There's such a delay on this. Let's see what's going on over here. So just think about it. How can you show that confidence to yourself and to others, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the affirmation. Affirmation is, yes. Oh, thank you, Ellen. Yes. The affirmation is, I step into my power, effortlessly sharing my unique gifts and talents with confidence, knowing the world is ready to receive them. And so if that's too long and you want to shorten it so that you can put it somewhere, maybe like I sometimes put it on the mirror in my bathroom with a chalk marker. I wouldn't want to write all of that out, right? So what's the most important part to me It is, I step into my power, right? So the rest of it, I got it in here. But when I see the words, I step into my power. Mwah, delicious, right? So if you only want to write a small portion of this so that you can see it, like on your mirror, I like to say, put it on your screensaver on your phone, put it on your sticky note, your index card, but put it somewhere that today, at least today, you were reminded how much power you have in your life as you share your gifts and talents with confidence, because the world is ready to receive it. Don't doubt that at all. Just be confident knowing. And how do we do the confidence thing? We embody the confidence, even if you don't feel it in the moment. But as you start walking with confidence, it's going to start feeling confident. All right, let's see. What is this here? So if I speak it and write my prayer and thoughts, it solidifies goals in your mind and body to remind yourself, yes, yes. Beautiful, Ellen. I love that. All right. So then one of the things that I tell you all the time, and I'm going to say it again, is that I write these affirmations and journal prompts as a thing that goes together. And so what I would love it if you would take the time today to write it in your journal. The power of your words. Yes. Oh, words are so powerful, so powerful. And body language, powerful, powerful. So you put those things together, you are good, right? And it can be life-changing as you're exploring all of this stuff about yourself. And we'll talk about that more in the group when we're talking about getting into this space of finding who you are and sharing your voice out into the world. I mean, there is so much gold in all of this, right? So get your journal out, your notebook out, put the date, put the affirmation and the journal prompt, and then take a few moments. Like Ellen just said, what it was it, writing your prayer and your thoughts. So before you start really diving into it, yes, sometimes wherever I go, I see people looking at me. Okay. And so the thing is that I'll share really quick, Ellen, and the I had a client, a hypnosis client, that she was having some body image issues. She had put on a little bit of weight, and she felt like when she was walking around places that people were looking at her thinking, oh my God, she's kind of fat, and that they were critiquing her. And so I worked with her with hypnosis and some coaching and everything. And the thing that I had her understand through all of that was that was her perception. She had no idea what those people were thinking, but she was thinking that about herself. And so she was projecting her own insecurities about what she felt about her body onto the thoughts of those people that were looking. So I helped her change those thoughts of her, right? And in that process, the very next day, she was walking on the streets. She lived in New York. She was walking down the street and people were looking at her. And suddenly she started recognizing that, especially some of the men were looking at her and they would have this smile on their face. It was not like they were thinking, oh, right. And then she started noticing that people were talking to her and they were talking about her and her confidence and how she was moving and how she was. And so all I did was switch that thought in her mind that they were mirroring her own insecurities. She was seeing that in them. And that when she changed how she felt about herself in here, what she perceived about other people changed, right? Laugh, I'm very sensitive. Yes, you do not know what people are thinking. Yes. And so since you don't know, imagine they're thinking the best about you. And I'll share. And I was dating a guy for a while, and he was a black guy, and he was a very attractive man, very attractive man. Ended up not being the right guy for me, but he was very attractive, right? And so when we were out somewhere, people would look. And I thought they were looking at us because we looked damn good, right? He thought they were looking at us because we were a mixed race couple and that they were upset that he was dating a white woman. And that really made me think, how is it that we saw the same thing? And my interpretation was, damn, they look good. His interpretation was, damn, why is he dating a white woman? Why doesn't he start dating his own race and stop this shit, right? It was the exact same thing, but we felt totally different about it. And so the same thing happens to us all the time. When we see someone and and they're looking at us, we're interpreting what they're thinking by what we feel, right? And he had a lot of insecurities about a Black man dating a white woman. And I'm sure that they were very warranted because, some people can be kind of cruel, right? But the thing is that that wasn't my interpretation at all. And to this day, it still isn't. I mean, I think they were looking at us because we did make an amazing couple. Physically, walking around, we did. We're not so much long term, or he'd still be around, right? So I want you to start getting into this confident place within you with the body posture. And then as you're out and about, Ellen, this is especially for you. As you're out and about, when you see somebody looking, drop into that confidence thing. What are they looking at? How are they interpreting you, right? Because whatever you think is how you feel. And I want to make sure that you are feeling inside this confidence, this, it's great to be alive. I love my life. I love the things I do. I love who I am. God doesn't make any junk. I'm right here, right now, and I'm sharing my gifts and my talents that God gave me into the world. And it is my duty to do that. And it's pretty interesting how when we see someone looking at us, we don't have a clue what they're thinking, but we interpret exactly what we think it is based on what we're feeling inside. Powerful stuff, right? So as you're getting ready to write in this journal or this notebook, make sure you get into this space of total relaxation. Maybe not total relaxation, but get as relaxed as possible and kind of quiet that chatter in your mind. And then that's when you start writing this out. What does this say? And we are very grateful for you sharing your gifts. Aw, thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Thank you. I love doing it. I'm telling you, I can even be having, like, if I get up in the morning and I'm not feeling good or something like that, and it happens, I am human. But I can start getting ready and start thinking about, I've got the live to do, affirmation journal prompt. And as I start just kind of mulling it over and figuring out what needs to be said today, what wants to be birthed today, all of a sudden it lights me up and I start feeling better. Now, I have had to cancel a few times and reroute when I'm going to do it because I felt bad. And those days I felt really bad. And so I knew I would not be representing and of service to you because I didn't feel good. But majority of the time, just the activity of getting ready to share with you guys makes me feel a million times better, right? And so I am grateful that you are here to listen and to share. And the way you guys come together for each other, it's just, I cannot say enough about how good it feels when you guys share in the group and you help one another. It's just amazing. And we have some different things coming up this month. And let's see, we are going, what is today? Today is the 8th, right? All right. So we've got Ruthie coming up on Thursday the 12th at 8:30 Eastern. I think. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, I've got it wrong. Hold on. Geez Louise. Where is my notebook where it tells me? I can't tell on the calendar because I got a whole bunch of things up there. All right. So I will be I'll tell you this. Look in the event section because it tells you when the different things are coming up, because we've got Norma Jean is, no, wait a minute. No, Jean Green is doing the storytelling. And that is, why can I not see it on my thing here? I need to go back and look and make sure I've got everything up there because I don't see it. But Jean will be talking about storytelling. Ruthie is going to be talking about a holistic natural health. You're going to want to be there for that. And then Stacy, Lauren, and I are going to be going live in the group, and we'll be talking about some amazing things that are coming up. So be aware, go into the events section and just check it out. Make sure that you register that you will be there. And I can't wait to share all this stuff with you. And if you're watching in another, okay, yes, it's usually easy to talk and visit with people for me. Beautiful. I love that. I love that, Alan. So if you're not in the Stand Up and Stand Out community and you're watching this, I want to invite you to come and join the group. And the way you do that is you go to VickiPoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and then you'll be prompted to answer questions. And I'll be honest, you have to answer the questions to be entered in the group. That is your process that you have to do to get there. And so I have people quite often that don't answer the questions, and I send them a message. Some people will come in and go ahead and answer the questions, and then some people don't. So I just end up deleting them. So I would really love, if you want to be part of this group, I would love to have you there. And so the price of admittance is answering the questions. So definitely go to VickiPoole.com, and I will see you in the group, because a lot of things are only shared in the group, and you're going to want to be part of it. All right. So let me go back real quick. Affirmation: I step into my power. As always, thank you for your insights and knowledge and encouragement. I'm so glad you were here, Ellen. I really am. Your affirmation is: I step into my power effortlessly, sharing my unique gifts and talents with confidence, knowing the world is ready to receive them. And then our journal prompt: picture the most confident version of yourself. Or if you can't find that, make sure that you are looking at whoever it is that you want to emulate their confidence, and just imagine that is the body that you, not the body, but the body language that you use, right? Sharing your gifts with ease and joy. And what does that version of you look and feel like? And make sure you really tap into not only what does it look like, what does it feel like to be that confident, right? And then how can you start embodying that energy today? The best thing to do is start changing your body language to be who you choose to be with that confidence, right? And once you do that and you start physically changing it on purpose, noticing, because most of the time we don't even notice what we're doing, but be aware. Use that anchor I gave you of when anytime you enter or exit a doorway, whether that's a car door or a building, tap into that confident version of you in your body. And I would love to know how all of this transpires for you today. Have a powerfully confident day. Yes, Wendy, you are so good at that. All right. So as Wendy so eloquently said, let me get back to it. Have a powerfully confident day. And I will see you tomorrow in the group. at 2 p.m. Eastern. I will see you then. Mwah.